Can everybody hear online?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Om Shanno Mitra Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavadvaryama Shanna Indro Brihaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि तत् वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We are looking at various arguments. Why? Because there is a lot of confusion. Where in the statement of Brahman entering the Jagat, so to speak. This word entry causes a lot of confusion because for many people, and especially for those people who have put a no entry sign for the Shastra on their heads. So on the head there is hanging what? No entry sign. So therefore they have their own ideas of how this Brahman quote unquote either became the Jagat or put one toe in the Jagat and retained itself. So many kinds of things. Or it became Karya, and then one part of Brahman, this is where we had stopped last time, one part of Brahman entered into another part of Brahman. Why not say that? That's very easy. Why not just say that and be done with it? One part of Brahman entered into another part of Brahman. Like what? Like what happens at 7:30? The hand enters into the mouth. Hand is one avayava, mouth is another avayava, and at dinner time what happens? Hand enters the mouth. And then that was soundly disbanded, and Bhashyakara scolded these people by saying that hand can enter the mouth, because what is mouth? Mouth is a space where no hand is. It's a no hand space. And but how will Brahman enter a space? Because what is everything? Everything is Brahman alone. There is no space for Brahman to enter. So how is it going to enter? So this is not really the entry we are talking of. And so Bhashyakara basically said, this is not what is going to work. This is where we had stopped. Now let us look at the next argument, which is equally silly and equally entertaining, both silly and entertaining. And so, what is the next argument? This one is a Brihaspati, okay? This one is called Ekadeshi. Ekadeshi means, Brihaspati means very wise, but sarcastically said. All right. So, meaning this fellow is just planet Jupiter incarnate, wiser than what Jupiter Guru. So, but then here, this is Ekadeshi. Ekadeshi means the person who is sitting quietly watching 2-3 people argue. When this person is watching, he or she is watching the other people argue, then comes with a conciliatory gift box. Come on, let me help you because you can't resolve your problems. Because one is saying the hand entered the mouth, the other one is saying it is all shunya and nothing entered, or all these things. So this person is watching them back and forth. Oh, you seem to be having a real problem. Let me help you out. And this person comes with their own wonderful idea of their brain cells thinking. Okay, yeah. So let us see what they say. They say, Karanameva chet pravishet jivatmatvam jahyat yatha ghataha mrit praveshe ghatatvam jahati. Did you find it there? Give, I'll show you. You've gone a little further. We are still in the back, okay? Yeah, that's all it is. So I'll show you. Naivam yuktaha anena jivena atmana anupravishya. Shute. Somewhere it is, okay? Yeah. Yeah, here it is. Show him also. So, karanam eva means tadeva anupravishat. Tat eva anupravishat, that is the Shruti. Okay? Tadeva anupravishat. Did you get? Yeah? No? Bring. I'll show you. Which book are you following? Oh, PDF, I don't know. Yeah, I should have looked it up. Sorry. Anybody can tell online what is the page on the PDF Bhashya? Some people.
Verse
281.
281. Page 281,
94.
94. Yeah, I think 91.
92.
Yeah, point 92. Okay. So, Karanameva chet pravishet. Thank you. Jivatmatvam jahyat. So, see, what is the Shruti? Tadeva anupravishat. And what is this? Tat is the question. Tat can mean many things. Tat means what? That. And what is that? That can mean Karana or it can mean Karya. So, Tat means Brahman. That's what we were taking it as because we are thinking people, but not according to this fellow. He says, why not take Tat as Jagat? Tadeva, this Jagat alone, anupravishat. This is a chin stroking moment. All right, so this Jagat alone entered. Then, of course, the question will come, what did it enter? Why it entered Brahman? This is doing a headstand. All right, very nice for yoga, but not otherwise. Because what are we saying? The cause, as it were, entered the effect. This is what we have been talking about. But here the person wants to stand this up on the head and says, why not say the effect entered the cause? What is wrong? Many things are wrong as it turns out. Okay, so first let us see the translation. Karanam eva. Why not say that the cause alone? Chet, if. Why not say if, or why not say the cause alone pravishet? Pravishet means karyam pravishet. Okay, so karanam eva pravishet. The chet pravishet means what? So jivatmatvam jahyat. So now it's not, we are not interested in any other karya entering the karana. We are only interested in jivatma. So then the jivatma gives up jivatmatvam, jivatmahood, jivatmaness, just like, I don't know where he or she saw this, the pot enters the clay. Have you seen a pot entering the clay? No. But according to this person, the pot enters the clay, yatha ghatadi ghatadehe mrit praveshaha. So just like the entry of the pot into the clay, so the jivatma gives up the jivatmatvam, the jiva gives up jivatvam and enters, as it were, into what? Into Brahman. There are a whole host of problems. Don't even get me started. The first problem is, if the karya enters the karana, what do we have? What is that condition called?
Nitya.
Pralaya. This is resolution. Karya becoming one with Karana means what? There is no Karya. And especially if we are talking of Jiva entering Brahman, then for whose sake are we studying this Shastra? There is no Jiva. If there is no Jiva, then there is no Ajnanam. If there is no Ajnanam, Shastrasya Nirarthakatvam. No, Shastra is useless. Why sit and beat our head listening to your argument? You know? Why do we have this kind of a moment, beating our head trying to understand some nonsense that you have said when it doesn't matter at all? Why? Because I am not there and neither are you. There is no guru, no shishya, no people, nothing. No people means no complaints, no complexes, no problems. And then what is the use of the Shastra? And there is no bondage, correct? If there is no sense of bondage if there are no people. Because the bondage is centered on what? Jivatvam. If this Jivatvam has sacrificed itself, we are not describing anything. We are not describing entry or Srishti. This is Srishti Prakarana. But what are we describing? Pralaya. In the Srishti Prakarana, how can you bring Pralaya? It makes no sense. It's like some people, they don't know how to follow a conversation. Suddenly they will talk. And let's say some people are talking about what a nice holiday they had or something, they went here. Somebody else says, oh, I went over there. And then this person says, I really like the taste of brinjal. Suddenly, no connection to Purva, what went before. Suddenly, out of the blue, this person is bringing up this whole thing of how this Karana, this Karya has gone into Karana. Then there is no Srishti. It's almost like you say the child was safely delivered of the mother. All right, then everybody is happy. Okay, mother is safe, child is safe. And then first news, okay? The news comes. This child was safely delivered of the mother. Both are safe. And then the second news comes. The baby has re-entered the womb. How and why? Why? See, we are able to talk about this. Why? Because the Jivatma is separate. Separate means I have a body, I have a mind, I have senses, I'm here. That's why I'm able to make this argument, and for the same reason, that's why you are able to make this argument. You are able to make this stupid argument because you are there. If you were not at all there, how are you going to make this argument? You cannot make this argument at all. And so it's like saying the baby, the newborn baby, very cute baby, wonderful baby, so nicely the delivery took place. Now, where is the baby? It has re-entered the womb of the mom. And that makes no... So then, that this is exactly how his example is. Yatha ghataha mrit praveshe ghatatvam jahyat. Jahyat or jahati. Jahati means gives up. So gives up ghatatvam. Gives up ghatatvam means gives up partness after entering clay. I mean, we have a different purpose. We are trying to find out the nature of the Jagat and what is the nature of the Atma and what is this Karana, and between the Karana and the Karya, what is the relationship? This is what we are trying to find out. And then Ghata enters clay, you are saying. What does Ghata enters clay means? Ghata is gone. Ghata is gone. And so therefore, this argument absolutely won't work. So we create, so this is of course Bhashyakara's own brain creating the Ekadeshi and all these things. Because we have to plug up all leaks. All other possibilities have to be discussed and dismissed summarily. And once all the possibilities have been dismissed, then we can say this is the only explanation. That means Karana. The Karana is entering as it were into the Karya. No other explanation fits. Then only, then only we can do that. So every possibility is taken up, cleaned out, and totally dismissed. So then this the next argument. So the next argument is that the Karya Karana Sanghata, the physical body mind sense complex, Anyena Atmana Anupravishat Jivatmana. This was also this was another Ekadeshi that was also negated. What was the that other argument? The other argument was the one we have already seen, the hand coming into the mouth. Same, that fellow's friend, because suddenly without without any connection. So Adi Shankara says it was just like what you did before or your friend did before. It has no connection to this thing at all. And because this one also is equally silly, and not only equally silly but equally useless. I lost the Bhashya here, 1 second. Not only silly but equally pointless. A pointless argument, a pointlessly silly and useless argument you are bringing, and in doing so you are taking away the focus on the of the Shruti. You're taking the focus of the Shruti, and then therefore you cannot have the you cannot have this Karya entering into the Karna, because then the beginning of this Upanishad will be wasted. How does the Upanishad begin? Brahmavida apnoti param. Where is the Brahmavit, or the possibility of the Brahmavit? Because the Jiva is gone, and so then there is no Abrahmavit, and there is no possibility of Abrahmavit being Brahmavit. There is no knower of Brahman. There is nobody there. There is nobody to listen to the Shastra. There is nobody who has a sense of bondage. There is nobody who is so therefore this is not so the ghata enters the clay. That also is not possible even in the empirical life. And so tadeva anupravishat iti cha shrutehe na karana anupraveshah yuktah. Yuktah means this is not tenable. This is not tenable. Why? Because the word we have to see clearly. Tadeva anupravishat. Tadanupravishya yachatyacha bhavat satchatyacha bhavat. So because it doesn't stop there, you can't just take it out of context. If it had just stopped there, tadeva anupravishata, okay, you can do whatever you want. But there's a whole another sentence and many sentences following that sentence. So you can't just selectively say, you know what, I'm going to say take tat as karya instead of karana, effect entered the cause. Because the next line is tad anupravishya, having entered, then what did it do? Sat cha tyat cha abhavat. It became everything. Sat means all that which has form, and tyat means all that which is free of forms, amurta, like vayu, etc. So it became that which has form, it became that which doesn't have form. So if we are talking of karya entering the karana, how can the karana split into form and formless? That also is not tenable, because you can't take things out of the context, because it does shruti virodhat. Shruti virodhat cha. Later on that argument will come, but right now this is basically, so this is the karyam, you made a ghata and then the ghata entered the clay. Then it doesn't make any sense, because tadeva anupravishat is karana vachaka shabda. Karana vachaka. It is not, it is, Tat means it is the Karana. It is not Karya. Tat refers to Karana. And so therefore, Tadevanupravishat, so naturally it is, so it is not the Karya entering the Karana. Na yuktaha, this is not tenable. This is not proper. This is not proper at all. And so then this Brahman entered the whole Jagat, and then that is what we are talking of. This is what we are talking of. And then of course the Purva Pakshi is not happy. Either that Purva Pakshi, goes, drinks some water and is fortified, drinks some protein X and comes back, or another Purva Pakshi comes with a similarly deranged argument. I don't know where they can get these things, but this one is another namuna. It's another specimen. Okay. Here it says, Karyantaram eva syad iti chet tadeva anupravishad iti jivatma rupam karyam nama rupa parinatam karyantaram eva apadyate iti chet न विरोधात् न हि घटः घटांतरम आपद्यते. So then Purva Pakshi picks it up. So what does the Purva Pakshi says? Karyantaram eva syat. It doesn't matter, Karya, did not enter into the Karana. All right, that's not a possibility. Why not say one Karya entered into another Karya? Simple. Let's all be friends. Why are we making this so complicated? One Karya entered into another Karya, and it looks very innocent, but it's a very diabolical argument, as you will see as we see the implications and the nuances. A dangerous argument. So why not we take it as one effect is entering what? Another effect. If one effect enters into another effect, what is your problem? One ghata entered into another ghata. Now you're going to raise some kind of an objection. Adi Shankara says, absolutely I'm going to raise an objection. Why? Because do you see one pot entering into another pot? It's pointless. Why is it going to enter anyway? It is totally pointless. Virodhat. Immediately he gives two, three objections to this. First one is virodhat, because there is a contradiction. There is a contradiction, and if there is a contradiction, then what is that? It is not valid. And what is the contradiction? Nahi ghataha ghatantaram apadyate. One ghata cannot become another ghata, not even enter. He says it becomes something else. Nama rupa parinatam karyam karyantaram apadyate iti chet. Why not one karya not enter into another karya, become another karya? And so obviously one karya cannot become another karya. If something is a pot, the pot suddenly doesn't become a hat. Okay, we don't see this. It is not only against the Shruti, what the Shruti says, it is also against one's own thinking, logic. You don't see this. It is even the Pratyaksha Pramana itself negates it. And so this is not at all a possibility. One karya does not become, cannot enter, cannot get modified into Nama Rupa. Why? Because Tadeva Anupravishat, this was already there. And what is that Anupravesha? Nama Rupa. So this Brahman entered into the Nama Rupa. This was the Shruti Vakya. If the Shruti says it entered into Nama Rupa, now how this Nama Rupa can become another Nama Rupa? It doesn't make any sense. And so then this argument is dangerous, because all they want is for this jiva to be intact. They don't want the jiva to go away, because they identify as the jiva. They identify solely as the body-mind sense complex. And if they identified solely as the body-mind sense complex, the possibility of understanding oneself as Brahman means letting go of everything else. It should not be there at all, because that means I have to let go of ahankara, I have to let go of dehatma buddhi, that I am the body, I have that buddhi, I have to let go of. I have to let go of identifying with the ahankara, the ego, all these things, and that is not acceptable to these people. And so therefore they have, by this saying karyantaram apadyate brahma, they say that Brahman first, what did Brahman do? First created some kind of a navarupa, like upadhi, like what is that? Shariradi. So in this body-mind complex, this is what? Brahman. All right? Body is Brahman, mind is Brahman, everything is Brahman. Into that the jiva entered. Like even putting some melted metal into a mold. Into that the jiva has, the jivatma has entered. So then we have two karyas. What are the two karyas? One this is what the anupravesha. Karyantaram eva apadyate. One karya has become another karya. What is one karya? Deha. What is the other karya? Jiva. So the jiva assumes the form of this body, mind, senses. Why not we say it like that? Because because there are many problems with this. First problem is that already we are coming to the Shruti. Why? Because there is body identification. So if Jiva has entered the body and become one with the body, then already there is body identification. And so then why would the Shastra spell anything else? Why will the Shastra teach me anything other than what I already think I am? What do I think I am? Sthuloham, I am fat. Krishoham, I am thin. And then what else, Dinoham, I'm helpless. I'm helpless, I'm fat, I'm thin, I'm small, I'm big, I'm rich, I'm poor. All these things. I lack, I want. This is already there. The I has already very fully and completely identified with the body, mind, sense complex. And to think that this is a philosophy is laughable because we don't need to elevate this Dehatma Buddhi to the level of philosophy. Why? This is the problem. Because what is gained here is something which we have to see as completely opposed to what we want to do. What do we want to do? Where do we want to go? We want to go away from thinking that I am as good as the body, mind, sense complex. So if one part is what? Well, one karya is deha, another is jiva. Jiva has been poured into the deha, meaning the two have become one. This is the problem. How can the problem be the solution? Can the problem become the solution? Not in 100 years. This is exactly the problem. And so one karya deha. So then this is, so we don't forget the Shruti. We go with our own anubhava. Do you like saying I am as good as the body? No, because that leads to grief. Do you like saying I'm as good as the mind? And dehe nashte aham nashtaha. If the body is not okay, I'm also not okay. And if the mind is sad, I am sad. Do you like saying that? No. In fact, that has what has brought us to the Guru, to the Shastra, because we want to get rid of this false and spurious identification, this wrong identification we need to get over. And that's why we are studying the Shastra. If the Shastra were to come and say, Shabash, you are on the right track, fantastic, congratulations, let's shake hands, you are on the right track, in fact, you are Jiva, Piva, full of pet peeves. Yes, you are inherently a lackluster, you are inherently a loser, you are inherently an idiot, you are inherently unlovable, unlikable, you are just you're just nothing. This already is my capital. This is the prasada of avidya. I already have avidya. Because of this avidya, I come to understand wrongly that I am as good as the body. I'm as good as my emotions. And, if the emotions are sad, oh, I'm gone, I'm sad. I'm no more. Hatoham, like we saw in the morning class. I'm almost killed. I'm done in. I'm the doer. I'm done in. This is the problem. This is what is sum total of samsara. And then to get rid of this, I want to run away from this kind of a thinking. So I seek the Sharanagati of a Guru, and the Guru says, let us study Taittiriya Upanishad. And I say, fantastic, when do we begin? Right now, the Guru says. And then what does the Guru teach? Tadeva nupravishat. The jiva has become one with the body. And so therefore what? All your problems are real. Samsara is real. And anything that is real, what do we know about something that's real? Cannot be removed. Abadhitam. Abadhitam sat. If samsara is sat, it cannot be removed. And so samsara is here to stay. And then sitting right in front of the Taittiriya Upanishad, you'll be shedding tears. You were already shedding tears, and now you'll be shedding even more tears if this were the reality. Thank God this is Purva Paksha. Because between the Jiva and the Deha, if there is no difference at all, then then what happens? The Jiva assumes the body, the shape of the, not the shape, assumes the nature of the body, the nature of the mind, the very form of the Deha, etc. And so therefore it suffers. Therefore the Jiva suffers. And in fact, what we want, we don't want identity with the body. We don't want identity with the mind. We want identity with what? Brahman. So this is negated by, forget Shruti, it is negated by our own experience. Look at what we are running away from. We are running away from samsaritvam. What is samsaritvam? Taking myself to be what I am not. And if I take myself to be what I am not, then that means what? That means that is, and I come to the Shruti, and the Shruti ratifies, yes, you are as good as the body. Yes, your grief is real. then what to do with the book of the Upanishad? That's nothing to do. Use it as a paperweight because it is of no use. This is all one can do. And so therefore, this is the, so the jiva is identified with what? The body, mind, sense complex. And so therefore, it assumes the very body, mind, sense complex. And so there are two ways this is this is negated. First negation is by Bhashyakara. Now we have understood the argument. Is the argument clear? Why it can't be this? Okay. So two ways it is negated. First he says, Nahi ghataha ghatantaram apadyate. A pot which is a karya does not assume the form of another pot. This is what, pratyaksha siddha. This you don't even need to go anywhere. So if pot is an ancient example. Like even the laptop does not become a mobile phone. I mean, how ridiculous. Laptop cannot become a mobile phone. So it cannot, one device cannot become another device. And so therefore, this is so ghataha nahi ghataha ghatantaram apadyate. So, but you see, it can undergo parinama. Parinama means it can undergo vikara, modifications. Because we see this in the world. Like what? We see butter becoming what? Ghee. That is a vikara. We see milk becoming curd. That is another vikara. Okay? That is all right because it is still a form of the milk. Milk becomes curd and then it becomes paneer. All these things are form of that milk. And so we are not negating vikaras. We are negating, so what we are negating, it cannot assume, it's still in that milk jati. If it is curd or ghee or what else, paneer, it's still in the milk jati. Or buttermilk, everything is, that's why it's called buttermilk. Because the milk is there. And so it's all in that same jati. It undergoes certain modifications. But suppose we were to say, let's say the ghee became oil. Does that happen? No. Oil became rock. Or I squeezed the rock and the rock turned into oil. We don't say that. So one thing assuming another thing is possible only in the form of vikara, in that particular thing. Like for example, you see a tree and then the tree has flowers and the flower becomes fruit and the fruit becomes seed. It's still in that same jati. there is a salakshanyam there and there is sajatiyata there, but here it is no connection at all. Between jiva and deha, what is the salakshanyam? What is the similarity between jiva and deha? Jiva sentient, deha insentient. Jiva separate. Jiva no parts. Deha full of parts. So where is the connection? It's like saying that I had kept the ghee in a container and then the next morning I looked at it, it became olive oil. How is that possible? It's not possible at all, because it is not, we are not talking of vikara, and so there is a terrible defect in your argument. So that's the first negation. Very beautifully done. You see, so little words. Nahi ghatantaram apadyate. Ghataha ghatantaram na apadyate. And the forceful, usually first is a baby argument. It's just like, you just, blow away the Purva Pakshi with a small little puff. And then you reserve the arsenal, the Rama Bana, for later. Okay? And then now the weighty negation is going to come now. And what is the weighty negation? Vyatireka Shruti Virodhacha. See, we have a prakriya. Prakriya means what? Methodology. It is called Anvaya Vyatireka. What is Anvaya? If A is there, then B is also there. This is Anvaya. B is gone, but then A is still there. This is Vyatireka. Okay. So Vyatireka. So this Anvaya Vyatireka is the bread and butter of Vedanta. So B is gone, but A is still there. So that means what? A is the cause of B. This is what is the conclusion of the Anvaya Vyatireka argument. So then here, Dehat Vyatirikta Atma Asti Nava Asti. So is there a separate something other than this body, mind, sense complex? Is it there or is it not there? Yes, it is there. In fact, a faint hope that it must be there brings me to the Shastra. That I must be separate from this body, mind, sense complex. That is what brings me to the Shastra. Otherwise, why to come to the Shastra? Faint hope I'm hanging on to. This is before Vedanta. The tiny hope. OMG, I'm just hoping that this is there, and then I hope that I'm right because I sense it somewhere. I don't have any pramana to tell you, but I sense that I'm separate from all this and I want to know more. And that's what brings me to the Shastra, is this tiny hope. And the Shruti obliges. The Shruti obliges by saying, by giving a lot of sentences which says, Dehat Vyatirikta Atma Asti. For example, we have in the Gita, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumarai yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhirastatra na muhyati. Dhiraha, the one who is a viveki, does not get deluded, na muhyati, unlike our friend here, the Purva Pakshi. Why? Dehin means the one who is the indweller of the Deha. Dehinaha, asmin Dehe Yatha. So this Dehin is in the body that is changing all the time. 3 states have been identified. Here don't say sleeper, waker and dreamer, okay? That would be the wrong answer. Vedanta fail, all right? Yeah. So here what do we say? Yeah. Young age, middle age, youth, childhood, youth and old age. Balye, balavasthayam, in childhood, what is that? The sense of I-ness persists in that childhood. Correct? I am, I was so naughty when I was small. People come and tell. I used to be very mischievous. In fact, I met one of Pujya Swamiji's childhood friends. It was a wonderful moment for me. And of course, I wanted stories from the childhood, Pujya Swamiji's childhood. And that gentleman made a joke. First, he said, "You're not interested in my childhood. You only want Pujya Swamiji's childhood." I said, "I'm interested in your childhood, but later. First, tell me Pujya Swamiji's childhood." Then he said, Pujya Swamiji was so mischievous when he was a child. Very, very mischievous. He used to play so many pranks. And then whatever he was told not to do, he would do. And then the teachers would scold him. His mom would scold him. Uncles and aunts would scold him. He got a lot of scolding, but he was always cheerful. This is what he said. So then, so if we see in these videos, as we have been seeing in the stories of Pujya Swamiji, one of the small 4-year-old, 5-year-old boy photo is there. And so then we can say, this is Pujya Swamiji. It looks nothing like Pujya Swamiji, correct? But we know this is Pujya Swamiji. And in fact, somebody showing their own childhood photo can say, this is me. This is me. How do you know this is you? This is me. I remember when this photo was taken. And I remember, I was small, but I still remember. So, Balavasthaya, Balye, and then what, Kaumare, in youth. In youth, I used to be so energetic. Look at me now. I used to have so many hopes, dreams, and desires. Now I'm like, God, somebody is saying. So that means what? There is a continuity. There is a continuity from childhood to youth, and in old age also. The person who is complaining, pain here, pain there. Okay, then where is it hurting? You should never ask an elderly person, where is it hurting? Okay, unless you have the rest of the afternoon free. All right, what should you ask? Where is it not hurting? Then you can quickly go. Where is it not hurting? At the tip of the nose. Okay, that's good. So, where is it not hurting? Then it becomes a short and sweet conversation. Then they will say, that's right. This is one place it's not hurting. Okay, thank you. Have a good day. Okay. Unless you have the rest of the afternoon off, don't ask them, where is it hurting? So then the one who is aware of this body, which is what? Jarjarita. Jarjarita means it is jarjara, double jara, jara, jara plus jara, jarjara. Old. And so it's threadbare. Completely, there is nothing there. Sometimes you look at the person and wonder if Yama has miscalculated or is sleeping on the job. Maybe he's taking an unauthorized break. How is this person alive? How is this person alive? You wonder. So really, it is Bhagavan's miracle how they are alive with so few, zero faculties. When I was small, I was taken to see one, I don't know, some lady, some distant relation. And I was about 5 years old, I still remember. And this lady was sleeping. And I was told she has been sleeping like this for the last 10 years, bedridden. And nobody knew the cause. Nobody knew the cause. All the tests, blood test, this test, that test, everything had been done, totally done. And then there was nothing anybody could say that this is the correct reason why this person is like this. Nobody's. And then she had attendants, must have come from a comfortable family. She had attendants who took care of her. And anybody who came, she would say, where are my jalebis? Did you bring the jalebis? And the attendants would have a horrified look because obviously she could not digest them, but she wanted them nonetheless. And seeing her, No, I remember thinking, how is she alive? What is it that's keeping her alive? I still remember thinking at 5 years old, what is it that's still keeping the breath in the body? And so, like this, that is old age. Through all this, Dehin is the same. It's not three Dehins, one for the childhood, another one for the youth, another one for the old age. Then that means there is no recall. There is no jnapanam, there is no knowledge of this previous age. There is no knowledge at all. That this is what it was and this is how it is. You don't see. You don't see that continuity. And that continuity extends post one body, pre another body. Tatha dehantara praptihi, another body is gained in the same manner for the same jiva. This argument is totally lost. Virodhat. This is Vyatireka Shruti. So, and what was the Bhashya? Vyatireka Shruti Virodhat cha. What is Vyatireka Shruti? Vyatireka Shruti is are those Vyatireka Shrutayah are those Shrutis that establish Dehad Vyatirikta Atma Asti Kinchit. So there is that so the Deha undergoes change. But if according to this fellow, Jiva has become the Deha. When the Deha changes, Jiva also gets old. Yeah, Jiva also gets old. Jiva also gets tired. And then, but here, according to this Shruti and according to our own experiences, when the Deha undergoes change, Dehi remains what? One and the same. This is what Vyatireka Shruti. This is one example of Vyatireka Shruti. So Vyatireka Shruti Virodhat cha means Vyatireka Shruti is being contradicted. Can you contradict the Shruti? No. So this person has no Shraddha because they are contradicting the Shruti. Whatever you want to establish, you can establish, but you without contradicting the Shruti. So here, Shruti is being contradicted. So that means what? Your argument is not tenable at all. Adi Shankara goes on to talk about other Shrutis as well, like the Brihadaranyaka Shruti, where the Gargi Yagyavalkya dialogue takes place. Ahrasvam, Adirgham, Ananu, all these things. The nature of the Atma, which is as though obtaining in the body, is separate from the body. In fact, this is the basic premise of Vedanta. Thank God. Asti kaschit swayam nityam aham pratyayalambanaha avasthatraya sakshi san panchakosha vilakshanaha. This is Viveka Chudamani, another Shruti. Shruti means it is Smriti, but still it is Shruti-like. It is taken everything from the Shruti itself. So asti kaschit, something is there. Swayam nityam, that which does not depend on anything else. And what is that? Aham pratyaya lambanaha, that which is obtaining manifest in the I notion, I thought, aham pratyaya, I cognition. And avasthatraya sakshi san, the witness of all the three states. Here it is what? Not kaumaram, yauvanam, jara. You can take that as well, but here it means sleeping, dream, waking. And then panchakosha vilakshanaha. Why did I quote this? Because the whole Taittiriya has been about panchakosha vilakshanatvam of Atma. That means the Purva Bhaga of this Shruti itself will be negated. We have to white out all the pages. We have to whitewash all the pages because it has no meaning. So that's why it is Vijnanamayah. Anyontara Atma Anandamayah. Tenaisha Purnaha. And this is what did we see earlier? That this Annamaya and is pervaded by Pranamaya, which is pervaded by Manomaya. And why is it called Maya? It is a Vikara. It is as though modification. And that modification, what does it do? It keeps the Deha separate from the Atma. This Anyontara Atma, another Atma. What do you mean another Atma? That which for the time being another Atma, because the identification is with Prana after Deha. Then after Prana, the identification is shifted to Manaha. And then Anyontara Atma Vijnanamaya. And then Anyontara Atma Anandamaya. So like this, you slowly go to Ananda and say, this none of these are I. I am as though associated with all of them, but I am separate. So this Shruti also, all the Panchakoshas discussion is also a kind of a Vyatireka Shruti. And then, so what is the other, what's it? Purport of this argument is that you think that it is, the Jiva here is Karta, Bhokta, Pramata permanently. Permanent Karta means what? Permanent guilt. Permanent Bhokta means permanently hurt. Why did they not do this? Why did they do this? So sad I am. And other people's omissions and commissions, my own omissions and commissions. Then this is what the problem is. And so therefore, the Vyatireka Shruti Virodha. Vyatireka Shruti Virodhacha. This is the problem. The Vyatireka Shruti is being contradicted. And then, he concludes this by saying, Jivasya Nama Rupa Karya Vyatireka Anuvadinyah Shrutayah Virudhyeran. He gives the Hetu, the reason. What is the reason? Vyatireka Shruti Virodha, he explains. Jivasya, for this Jiva. Who is this Jiva? Nama Rupa Karya Vyatirekasya. So, for this Jiva, the Swarup, the Shruti which unfolds the Jiva Swarupa as what? Nama Rupa Karya Vyatireka. Vyatireka means separate. Separate from the Nama Rupa, which is the Deha. Separate from the mind, separate from the senses. That is what the Shrutis endeavor to do. They endeavor to separate. So this separate Anuvadinyah Shrutayah. Anuvadinyah means because Anu means they translate. Anuvadinyah. They reiterate what? What we already knew by Anubhava. We already know that by experience. I must be separate from this. Everybody knows that. That's why one does not accept one's sorrow. Can you accept sorrow? Nobody. You ask somebody, I'll give you this much money. You please accept your sorrow. No. I can't accept my own sorrow. What to talk of yours? I can't accept sorrow at all. Sorrow is totally unacceptable. Anger is totally unacceptable. Shock is totally unacceptable. Fear, totally unacceptable. That means what? It must not be there. If sorrow were my reality, then I would be happy being sad. And if somebody was sad, I would go congratulate them because that is the reality. 3 sad things happened this week. Wonderful. You're doing really well. But that's not what we do. We console each other when somebody is sad and we console them. And then when somebody is happy, we congratulate. This is our own Anubhava. So that's why it is Anuvadinyah Shrutayah. The Shruti is just reiterating our own Anubhava. So Anuvadinyah Dehad Vyatireka Atma Asti iti Anuvadinyah Namarupa Karya Vyatirekasya Jivasya. Jivasya means Jivasya Swarupasya. Anuvadinyah Shrutayah Virudhyeran. Virudhyeran means run away from this argument as fast as you can, because they would contradict. Virudhyeran, Vidhiling, I think. They would contradict. So they would contradict, and so therefore don't entertain this argument at all. Absolutely not. And then so the Jiva is independent of the Namarupa. Namarupa here is Dehadi. Dehadi Karyasya Vyatireka. So all the Shrutis we will contradict. And then if Brahman has become the Jiva, then we would have, first Brahman becomes the Jiva. Then what happens? Jiva becomes Deha. Then what happened to Brahman? Jiva, Brahman became Jiva, Jiva became Deha. Afterwards, what? Nothing. Deha died, Brahman died. So, no hope possible. On this morbid note, we will end today and pick it up tomorrow. Thankfully, it is Purva Paksha. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Same time, same place tomorrow. Om Namah Shivaya.